Namaskar. Today we are going to discuss, is death separate from life? So first we understand what is life. After taking birth, go for education, learn some skills, craft, and go for the work for the next 50, 60 years, relations, siblings, attachments, earning money, bank accounts, education, books, so many attachments, aspirations, desires, all this combined can be called life. And what is death? In simple words, end of all this combination, all this gathering, all this accumulation is death. All the attachments, all the skills, money, bank accounts, everything, whatever you have gathered or accumulated in your life, everything is going to end. So there is end. So first we should understand what is end. When there is end, the new things come. If there is ending something, the new things begin itself. It's the nature of ending. And what is that new thing? If you ask this question, that means you are projecting something. This thing could be after this end, or that should be in this way or that way. It's projecting something after end is not actually the actual end. After end, whatever comes, it will come automatically and naturally, not by your projections or your thinkings or your opinions. But what we see in our life, we assume or we live with this idea that this is life, and after some time there is duration, there death will happen. So there is duration between life and death. So in this duration, we are frightened, we have fear of death because nobody wants to die. So to eliminate this fear, to save ourselves from this fear, to escape from this fear, we have invented several ideas or assumed, like hell and heaven. After death, there is hell and heaven, rebirth, resurrection, reincarnation. These kind of ideas, these kind of concepts we have invented to eliminate our fear of death, to overcome our fear of death. So when we see why we invented all these ideas, because we want continuation. We are very afraid of unknown. Death is unknown thing for us. Life is known for us and death is unknown for us. So we are afraid of unknown. So we have coined or we have invented these kind of ideas. There is continuation of life. The life which I have would be continued after death, or in what form? Whatever I have, whatever I have achieved, whatever I can project, I can assume, I can imagine, all those kind of things in a better way. All those pleasurable things, all those comforting things would be continue with me in a better way. So these kind of ideas we have generated or invented to overcome our fear. So when there is separation, life is one form, one phenomena, and death is another phenomena. So there is separation. When there is separation, there is conflict. There is always conflict between life and death. When there is conflict, there is wastage of energy. So, because of that fear, because of that uh, fear of ending all these attachments and accumulations, there is a very high amount wastage of our energy. And because of that, we are bound to live very narrow or very broken up life. There is no freedom. When there is no freedom, there is no love, there is no passion. Because love and passion can happen when there is freedom. Or when we are very feared because of death, how we can love, how we can live freely, or how there could be freedom. So, since we have coined all these things, after death, continue our life, continue this phenomena which I have in my life. And continuation would be based on reward and punishment. So we think if we live a moral life or ethical life, we would have we would have better life after death and all that. However, there is no we cannot see there is a huge impact of this concept on our life, because most of the people are not living up to that standard or up to that mark of morality and ethics. But if we see closely, the fact is this: there is no separation between life and death. Life and death is one phenomena. Life ends with death, and whenever it is going to end, nobody knows it. Ending of all kind of attachments, all kind of accumulations. If we end all kinds of attachments and all kinds of accumulations psychologically in our life, then life and death would happen simultaneously to us. See it. Please go deeply into it. If we psychologically end all these attachments and accumulations, I'm not saying end the physical or biological body or anything physically, but psychologically, spiritually, internally, if we end all kinds of attachments and accumulations which we have, then life and death would happen simultaneously. And it's the art of living. It's a wonderful phenomenon. When it happens to our life, there is no contradiction, there is no conflict, there is no fear. We will live with death. It is called live with death. Then there is no fear, no conflict, no any kind of wastage of energy. Then there would happen awareness, attentiveness, stillness, and this is the real art of living. You might have heard art of living of some techniques of breathing and some exercises and some techniques of meditation. That's not art of living. It's good for body and for physical well-being, but that is not proper art of. It's a tiny part of your physical well-being. But art of living is when you are totally free, when you are totally still, when your mind is not occupied, when you are living in present moment, when there is peace and love and compassion in our mind. That is art of living. And that would come when there is no fear of death, when life and death is happening simultaneously. So please try it in your life. You can apply it in apply this thing in your life. We into this way that we end psychologically all our attachments and accumulations. Then there would be no any fear of death. So What's your opinion about this thing? You can tell me by comments, and if you like this video, please share and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.